Hello and welcome. I'm Emma Turton. I'm a medical intuitive and founder and director of Medical Intuition School. And I wanted to come in and share my excitement and live vibes with you today. So I've just finished up a live call, our first live training in my brand new 5-week deep dive called Unshakable Service. So I wanted to just come and share that with you today. I'm just going to pop the link here in the comments in case you're interested in that. So, we have this thing where so many of us are sensitive souls, and let me know if you pop in live or if you're here watching the replay and joining in the after party. Give me a hashtag after party. We have this thing as sensitive souls that so often, particularly when we have, perhaps a history of chronic health problems, or we are, deeply connected to our bodies in various ways. So often when we work in the world of health, we can find that we are quite connected to our bodies. And if this applies to you, let me know in the comments. What can happen is that every single time we go through some sort of an up level in business, every time you up level, you go through, for instance, you might launch something new in your business, you might expand your capacity to work with your clients, you might learn some new skills or start having even more amazing results with your clients. You might have more, like a sudden influx of new client bookings. You might, be launching something brand new. You might be hitting a new income level. There might be a new level of success. In particular, when you're in business, this can happen, but also when you work, as an employee for others in the world of health or in any other field, you can go through big up levels in your business as well, in your work as well, right? And so if you find that you go through, when you up level spiritually, in business, in work sense, or in a life sense, and you always come crashing back down to earth because your body stops you in your tracks as a part of that, to the point that perhaps you may even, like I remember getting to the point of actually joking about it because I expected the burnout, right? I expected that there was going to be some sort of payback for having gone through a new up level in my life. So, let me know if this resonates with you, if this applies to you. Do you find that you are, that every single time you go through an up level, you hit new levels of exhaustion, or you have to take time off and reschedule? You might need to delay the start of a course or a workshop, or you might need to reschedule your one-to-ones with your clients because you've gone through some sort of an up leveling process. Your body has decided you need to have a break and stops you in your tracks. So the other thing that can happen here is, particularly if you work in the world of health, is that you may have amazing results with your clients. You might get incredible results with the people that you work with and their health. However, you might find that it's your body still holds you back. And so, this happened to me for many years. I found that every time I took a new leap in my business, my health would come crashing down. And so it was such a fascinating thing. I kept working on it for years, thinking it was all subconscious programming. And, it wasn't. Yes, that's a part of it. Yes, but that's not all that there is. And if you only do the subconscious reprogramming aspect of it, you're not going to get to the root cause of why there's that burnout in the first place. And you're not going to change the pattern, because the problem is it's a cycle. The problem is that you go through cycles, right? Every time you up level, you come crashing down with a physical issue, illness, injury, or some other kind of exhaustion or overwhelm, burnout. You take what you need to do at that time to take time off, to recover, to recoup. You start to go back into doing things the way you were doing them before. You build straight back up, and the cycle happens again. It repeats itself, yeah? So it doesn't matter that you get, great results with your clients. What can still happen is that, you can't heal your own body. You can't stop this cycle from happening. And I was stuck in that for years. Up until about 2 years ago, I was stuck in that cycle, repeating cycle of crazy health issues going on in my body every time I up leveled in my business. And yet I'd healed all of my previous chronic health issues. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know my story. I'd healed all of my chronic health issues, particularly using the key of medical intuition to help me to heal all of those aspects of my physical, illness, physical issues that I was told I would have for life. And yet I'd get these new and exciting things that would happen, and I'd end up perhaps in hospital. Once I was carried out of a jazz club to an ambulance to go to emergency because I'd had a seizure. Another time I ended up in hospital with pneumonia and pleurisy. I had these things that would stop me in my tracks, like epically stop me in my tracks, real measurable, diagnosable illnesses and injuries and issues, to make me stop what I was doing. And, this is what happens when you have a burnout cycle. This is what happens when every time you up level or try to launch something or do things the way other people do them and can cope just fine, or appear to anyway, and come crashing down. This is what's happening. There is something else going on behind the scenes that you're not seeing. Your metaphysical body is out of sync with your physical body in that moment. And on various levels, the choices you're making, the actions you're taking, what you allow yourself to receive in your life in terms of your success and your fulfillment and your happiness is limited. Your body stops you from getting more because you do not feel safe having more. Because in any moment, you only allow yourself to experience what you feel safe to experience. And so if you are not feeling safe to experience more, whether that's more money, more clients, more success, more love, more nurturing, whatever that may be, whenever you push up against that limiting belief, that fear, that programming of that set point, that limit, your body will kick in to bring you back down to where you feel safe again, to stop what's happening in your expansion and to allow you time to adjust. So we can go through, let me know if this resonates for you at all. We can go through these times of, deep illness anytime we go through spiritual awakenings or huge revelations or big shifts and expansions within our work. And, it can really, I've always seen it as an energetic up level. It's, the physical's gone through this shift, or the spirit has gone through this shift. So the soul, the spirit, you're taking your metaphysical field through this shift, your body, and then the physical body needs to catch up and shed what no longer serves it. And to an extent, that is true, but only if that's a one-off, not if it's every single time you go through an up level. If it's every single time, you've developed a burnout pattern. If it's every single time, it's dysfunctional. Every now and then, yes, it's a good reset for the immune system. It's a good reset for the metaphysical field and for the physical body. But if it's every single time, it's a problem. And it's a problem you can break. It's a cycle that you do not have to live with. You no longer need to go through suffering in order to up level. You can thrive through your up levels. When you bring in the right strategies, the right tools, the right processes, you can thrive through your up levels. I have learned this myself over the last 2 years, and I was afraid to talk about it for a year because I thought that maybe I'll jinx it if I tell anyone. And so for the last couple of years, I haven't had that cycle of burnout. I've launched something like 8 unique courses, and I've run 2 flagship massive courses in the background. I have 2 masterminds. I have 2 memberships. I run all of this in the background, and I don't overwork. I don't have, I'm not burning myself out in terms of my business. I'm doing a lot. I've pushed those launch boundaries to see if it sticks, to see if the changes I've made have worked. And they have, because I had probably 7 years of evidence to the contrary. 7 years of evidence of this burnout cycle and this pattern. So I have now got 2 years of evidence that what I'm doing works. And so now I've brought this to you so that you can have this freedom in your work as well. So what I would like to do is, today I just got off the first training call for Unshakable service, and I want to invite you to come and join us. I've got a beautiful 19 people in there that are ready to take their service to the next level. Because the thing is, when you are a soul-driven business owner or a person who works soul first in your business, if you are spiritually minded and you have your soul work to bring to the world, and you're limited in your capacity to serve because of your level of energy or your body, then you're not getting to all of the people who are waiting for your service, yeah? You are holding your service back from the world not because you are wanting to, not because logically you're choosing to, but your physical body and your energetic body, your metaphysical body, don't have the capacity to serve at the level you know you're here for. So if you know you're here for much more powerful service on this world at this time, they'll tell you what, the world needs your service right now more than ever before. If you know that you are here to be of service to more people than you currently can be because you've been limited by your body's constraints, then this is for you. This course is 100% for you, because I have in the last 2 years uncapped my income, uncapped my ability to launch things, uncapped my ability to do what I want to do in my business and to speak to the people I want to speak to in my beautiful beloved business, Medical Intuition School. And it's because of these changes I've made. It's because of the shifts that I have made. Now, the first live training has literally just dropped now. I literally just finished it, and I've come in here to just share with you some of those live vibes. There's still time to join. It's a 5-week deep dive, so this is just the beginning. We've just scratched the surface today. All the recordings are provided. If you can't make it live, you get to come live, you get to watch the recordings, you get to join in the community of beautiful soul-aligned people that are there, and there's already things in there for you to jump in and dive straight into, sink your teeth into when you get in there. It's only $333. There is a payment plan available. I wanted to make this as accessible as possible for you. And this isn't just information. So we're going to be doing some deep diving subconscious mind reprogramming as part of this. We're going to be rewiring the way you do things. And there will also be a lot of strategy on how to set things up in a way that's deeply aligned with you so that it no longer drains your energy and creates that disconnect between your metaphysical field and your physical body, which is what creates the illness and injury in your body. Yes, so that's the key. When we get that real flow and connection, we get to know yourself very, very well as you go through this, and you get to know your triggers for going into that overwhelm, going into that burnout pattern. You get to know yourself very, very well as we go through this process, and you get to understand how to change things and to fill up your fuel tank before it gets to be too late, before it gets to the burnout tipping point. You'll get to know that so you can break that cycle, and so that you can keep bringing those strategies in over and over again so that that cycle no longer is a thing for you. It becomes a thing of the past. And then your service is no longer limited by your physical body's capacity. Your service is no longer limited by your energetic capacity either. You don't need to work more. You don't need to work harder. You don't need to spend more time working. You don't need to sacrifice time with your family or time nurturing yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit. You don't need to sacrifice any of that in order to take the limits off of your ability to serve others. That's what you will learn in Unshakable Service. So I've put the link in the comments below. Click on through and you can still join us. There's plenty of time to join us, but the first training dropped today. So if you want to get in and get in the momentum of the live vibes, now is the time to join. I hope I see you on the other side. Feel free to ask me any questions if you have any, and I look forward to seeing you there. Bye now.